Welcome, welcome, welcome one more time.
And we're yeah.
God. Here we are, y'all. XO Sports Talk Live. We coming at you on the 8th day of April. We got the hottest sports talk news. Get ready, get ready. We gonna come to you live right about now. What's up, people?
How's it
Where my
going? How's it
people
going?
at? Where my people at? Where my people at?
Going on, fellas?
We here, y'all. We here. We're doing it again. We're doing it again. Listen. XO Sports Talk Live. We right here doing it again. Listen, NCAA basketball, women's basketball, men's basketball. What a year 2021 has brought to us. Some of the best NCAA basketball I've seen in a long, long time. Somebody give me something on that.
Hey, man,
I think you got to go with Stanford. Everybody had Arizona, and Stanford pulled it out.
Congratulations to Stanford. Big ups to Stanford. We're here. We heard about so many other teams that was going to be the favorites. UConn always. They're always picked like as the favorites. But hey, Stanford said, "Hey, we're right here.
Yep.
Don't forget about us."
Yeah, you just had a bad shooting night. Defensively, that point guard from Arizona just gave them fits.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah.
She can play anywhere. She can play in the WNBA right now. She's ready.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The UConn Baylor game. He had the controversial call there at the end, but what a year! March Madness. It definitely was March Madness.
Yeah,
I'm still like just on edge with some of those games. Some of the best basketball I've seen in a long, long time. And just for the games to be so close and just the competitive nature that it brought out in both teams, coaching staffs, it was just, we just got a great future in women's basketball right now. And I'm just looking forward to the years to come because, a lot of those teams that even some of the teams that went out earlier, they're young. So all those players are coming back next year, and here we'll be ready again.
It's a lot of young talent. A lot of young talent out there, and and this was a COVID year, so next year it'll be even better.
Yes. Get more fans in the stands. Teams can have home games, have that home crowd energy behind them, and we will get back into those arenas, and families can travel with their favorite team, and which would be great. 'Cause I know a lot of people want to do that, and it's just been a great year, and we made the best of it though. I got to give it to the NCAA. They made the best of it this year, working with under all the conditions they had to work on, all the guidelines and all the health guidelines they had to work under. I give it up to NCAA and making this thing happen this year.
And let's give it to Stanford's coach, Coach V.
Yeah.
Vanderveer.
Coach Tara. Yeah.
Because she Stanford had a 29-year drought the last time they won a championship.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
That's a long time.
Long time. And she is the winningest coach in NCAA Women's Championship, Division One.
Yeah.
She passed out past Pat Summit,
Mm-hmm.
the late great coach from Tennessee.
Yeah.
So,
Great coach. Great coach there.
You got it. give her
Oh
credit.
yeah, hats off to her.
Yeah.
Hats off to her.
This was a team during the COVID that didn't play a lot of games and had to play a lot on the road, and to still keep them together and to stop that little mighty one,
Oh yeah,
Arizona, because a couple of times
listen,
she drove
listen.
into the box, and then all of a sudden she looked up and was like,
Oh
they
yeah,
were right there.
she was met with some resistance there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Stanford,
Oh yeah.
have some. At one point, I thought I was looking at a volleyball team out there, man, because they're tall. They're just so tall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're all good players, good shooters, can handle the ball, pass the ball, run the offense. So hats off to them.
Yeah. I mean, it was what a game. What a game. I thought it was a well officiated game. So no one can say anything there. There's always sidebars about the officiating, but I thought it was a well officiated game. And our women's basketball is taking off to another level. WNBA, here they come. Here they come. They're coming.
Now we get to Baylor and Gonzaga.
Oof. On the men's tournament. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But first,
yeah.
I picked Baylor.
Huh?
I picked Baylor. I picked Baylor, right. So I'm doing my little victory lap. You guys can blah 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 all you want.
All right.
I picked Baylor.
You did.
I respect it.
I was going with Gonzaga all the way. I didn't see them losing. For them to go undefeated throughout the year, into the tournament, and then the final game of the season, they kind of lost something to me. I don't know what it was, but there was something. They weren't hitting on all the cylinders that propelled them to where they were throughout the season. And
you're muted.
Not seeing this right now. Yeah.
I mean, for anybody to be able to keep their team intact through this virus, you got to give them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Just on an everyday, being able to, function daily, trying to get practices in and travel, or just coming together, right there in the hotel. All of those things is just it was a tough task for anyone.
And telling these young kids to sacrifice, stay in your dorms, stay together, don't go out here, don't go out there.
That's very tough.
That's a major sacrifice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I give it to these kids because I would have been able to do it.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been tough. It would have been tough for me too.
Yeah. I would have had a ladder in my dorm.
Yeah.
With a mask.
With a mask. Don't forget the mask. Don't forget the mask. Yeah. But Baylor, we got to give it to them. Yeah. They have a strong
Catch
team.
Me if you can.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, they came out and they set the tone.
Oh yeah, that's where it was.
And their point guard Mitchell, I mean, he's a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
He would, they were just disrupting Gonzaga's offense, basically.
Everything Gonzaga wanted to do, Baylor said, no, we have an answer for that too. Yep. That's a lot of film study. Give it up to the coaching staff of Baylor. Somebody broke down a lot of film, watching all the plays Gonzaga likes to run, those back screen cuts, all of that. Somebody was watching a lot of film, and they got out there and they executed. And
every kind of defense, every kind of defense that Gonzaga was throwing at Baylor, they had an answer for it.
Oh my God, yes.
They had an answer for it.
Just a
And
long athletic team. They're just so long and athletic. I mean, I was like, whoa, okay.
and Scott
So
and Scott Drew has did a remarkable job bringing this team up since 2003 when he joined Baylor,
yeah,
which was a
yes,
mess.
yes, yes,
Which was a
yes.
mess.
That's a good segue. Double G. Being able to bring this team into the light and bring them to prominence. You know, they're a major program right now. They are a
Oh, well,
major
yeah. I mean,
D1 program right now. So we better
yeah,
recognize those Baylor guys
and
because watch out.
they've got two players. I mean, right now projected the point guard Mitchell, and
Yes,
their shooting guard,
yes,
Jared Butler. They're projected top 20 in this
yeah,
year's draft. So they're
Yep.
not no
right,
slouches.
yeah, yeah,
So
And another thing that was that happened before the game that I was sad to see was Roy Williams stepping down at Carolina.
yeah.
yeah,
The great Roy Williams.
Yeah.
What a legend! What a legend he was there in Kansas. Just a great coach, father figure, mentor. You name it. I love the relationship he continues to keep with most of his former players, whether they're in the NBA or not. I've heard all kinds of great things on how he likes to keep in communication with his players, whether they're like I said in the NBA, working in corporate America or whatever they're doing in their lives and their careers right now. But Coach Roy, and that's what they say, Coach Roy, he meant so much to me. And you just, people always speak of him well. And he did just a remarkable career for him.
yeah.
Now, Terry and Brian, what did you think about when Roy Williams said, "You know what? I just don't have it. I just don't have it in me to go any further." Because, I mean, let's face it, Roy Williams could have said, "You know what? I'm going to delegate some of this work to other guys, to my coaching staff. You
Yeah.
guys can pick up the pieces here, but I'm staying." Because some coaches, I don't care what age they are, they just don't know when to go.
Right. Right.
And Roy said, "I'm going." So
He
how
knew
do
it
you
was
guys?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, COVID played a part in it too. I think COVID had allowed, all of us to kind of step back and just see, what's important. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
what the job he did at Kansas, he was able to get back to North Carolina, Dean Smith disciple.
Mm-hmm.
I think he took that into consideration too. I think COVID kind of it opened everyone's eyes up and just
Absolutely.
what's
Absolutely.
important. And you know he Hubert Davis is stepping in, another North Carolina product.
Yeah.
So I just think he just maybe just assessed his situation. Do I still think he could have still coached, but
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think
Absolutely.
he felt
Absolutely.
like in his heart he felt like it was time for him to step away, and he did, in my opinion.
Now, we all had a chance to watch Hubert Davis play with the New York Knicks, and we had a chance to tease Hubert Davis when they would go, "Hubert Davis." Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So
Oh
now
man.
we're looking at Hubert Davis as the head coach of Carolina. What do you think about that, Em?
Hubert Davis, first of all, a great hard-nosed player, fundamentally sound. I believe he's going to bring that great teaching both from Dean Smith, and we know those hard teams of the New York Knicks, and we know how hard they would play. The defensive minded, the mentality, the physicality that they bring. I think his teams are going to be centered around that. I know they're going to be one of the best teams that's going to be in shape because those New York Knicks teams, say what you want about them, but they say those practices were tough. And I think that's what made Hubie Davis the player that he was over his career. Just a tough, you come in every night, lunch pail, you bring it. Win, lose, or draw, you bring it and you lay it all on the table. And I think that's what he's going to instill in his players and his recruits that are coming in. If you come here and you work hard, good things can happen. And I believe that's what Hubie Davis is going to bring to the North Carolina program now. And he's just following into the footsteps of some of his mentors, the late, great Dean Smith, the Pat Rileys of the world. Those were his mentors. He saw it firsthand. And I think that's what he's going to implement there at North Carolina.
And what do you think about that, Brian?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
We all know who went to North Carolina.
But now
the great who?
But now the hard work that Hubie Davis has done with the Knicks, because we all saw the Knicks play. But now you've got to look that young kid in the face and say, this is the reason why you need to come to Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You're now the salesman that's got to sell that pitch to that kid and to his family on why you should come. Now, the hard work we all know that Hubie Davis got, but now you're a salesman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. But you've got Duke in your division.
Yeah.
So how do you've now got to outsell yourself to say, don't go to Duke, come to me.
That's, I agree with you. He's gonna have to put in some work, but it's UNC. I mean, Michael Jordan.
Who played for North Carolina?
Rasheed Wallace.
The great who?
Let's not forget, James Worthy, Sam Perkins.
I think his name is Michael something. Michael. Is it Jordan? Yeah, that guy. He played at North Carolina. Yeah, he played at North Carolina too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And
Star Hill Blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Now, and one thing that you will see that came out of the Knicks is Hubie Davis coaching North Carolina and Patrick Ewing coaching Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice that those two guys were able to go back and coach their college.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great story.
He didn't play for the Knicks.
But just going back to coach his, right. Well, he went back to his alma mater and he's able to coach there.
Yeah.
No. I think it's great. I think it's great for college basketball. Both Patrick Ewing and Hubie Davis, everything that they've learned, witnessed in the NBA, those tough battles, just putting on some of those films in a session with the young recruits that you have, that could do so much for them as a player. Everything from developmentally to just becoming a man.
Mhm.
I mean, those guys went from tough, hard-nosed coaches. You look at the great Coach Thompson there at Georgetown, everything he instilled in Patrick Ewing as a player and as a person. Dean Smith, the things they instilled in their players as just individuals, not just as an athlete, as a basketball player, but as a person. I think those things can go a long way as we move forward in Hubie Davis' coaching career and in Patrick Ewing's coaching career as well, too, since we're talking about Mr. Patrick Ewing as well.
Yeah. Now we're looking at Kevin Durrant heading back to the Nets. What do you guys see?
NBA. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
what can you say? How can you stop him? How can you defend him? What do you do?
So
he's one of the most skillful big men that we've seen in our time. KD is unguardable.
Yeah.
He's unguardable. I don't know what you do. He's 7 foot. He can shoot. He can dribble. Oh my goodness, he can pass. What do you do with him? What do you do with him? And then now you add in Kyrie Irving and you're adding James Harden to the mix. Oh my God. I don't know what the playoffs is going to look like for the NBA. I'm glad we just slipped into this segue right here. Double G. NBA basketball is fantastic.
And it's just going to be something. It's going to be something to see now that Durant is back.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, he came off the bench last night, went 5 for 5, 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. And before he got hurt, he was averaging 2 points for every minute he was on the floor. So he was a bucket a minute. So that's scary.
That's KD. It's really scary. Wait, and I
can't remember.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I heard a quote. He said, "Oh yeah, I enjoyed coming off the bench." KD, you're not coming off the bench, buddy. All right. But it just show you the depth that they have on that team. Any night, either one of those three guys, Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, they can go for 35. Easy. They can go for 35 easy. Yeah. I don't know what teams have in store for them defensively. I don't know what teams are going to do when I know they said playoff basketball is another animal, is another beast. When you're talking about having 3 of the most prolific scorers in the game today on the same team, good luck to the coaches out there who are trying to defend them. Good luck.
I mean,
well, I think one of the things that we're going to be looking at come the NBA Finals is more fans. Because
I hope so.
You're getting more people getting vaccinated. So that's going to bring more fans compared to last NBA championship. You had nobody there.
Yeah,
it's quiet.
That was a different,
no traveling.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden you're gonna have I would say maybe close to, when the playoffs time comes, close to about maybe 5 or 7,000 fans there in the arenas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so now that means you're going to have to pick up your bags and go. And
so
that's a
Double G. Let me ask you
a little bit.
The only thing I see stopping them. What if we have game 6, game 7 to be played, and somebody tests positive?
You're out. I don't.
That can change the complexion of an NBA championship.
Yeah.
And I hope that guys are, being safe. I hope they're following all the protocols in all the states in which they live in or travel in or have to travel to. But that could change the complexion of an NBA championship. You get a Kevin Durrant and a James Harden who test positive and they have to be out. You got Kyrie by himself. Now the series can change. A team that was down 3-1 can come back in that series and have a chance to win. So I want to say this, and I want to say this. I said, I don't know what's going to happen in the NBA playoffs, but I'm very curious to see how things are handled. If a player comes down with COVID, that can impact his team tremendously. You're talking a 25-point scorer that's gone, and he won't be available for the next game.
I totally agree, because if that was to happen to the Nets, the NBA is not going to say, "Oh, we're going to put the games on hold."
No.
The show must go on.
The show must go on,
and which can happen to any team.
Yeah,
but you wonder what would happen if it was to happen to this role that the Nets are on. We knew that when Kevin Durant would go there, he was going to be good. We didn't, bad move on the Knicks, because the Knicks didn't want to take a chance to get Kevin Durant when he was there. But for the Nets, the Nets are just steamrolling now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brooklyn.
Yeah. I mean, and then you got the role. I mean, Jeff Green.
Oh my goodness!
James Harden has gotten to the Nets, he looks like an all-star.
Yeah. Yes. Jeff Green is the secret weapon. Right. Jeff Green, and they got so many shooters. They have so many. Joe Harris. What's the other guy? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Shamit or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. They have they just come at you so many different ways. So it's just gonna be tough to contend with them. But I will say this. I have seen some teams that have been assembled like this, and into the playoffs, things just kind of fizzle out. You could have, as you got all these alpha males, and who's taking the shot, who's taking the last shot, who wants to run the team in a crunch time situation, who wants the ball in their hand. Will that come into play, or do we get along just so good? Hey man, you shoot it tonight. I'll take the shot tomorrow night. I mean, what are we going to see happen when the playoffs roll around? How can teams really mesh and gel as far as their chemistry?
Okay, final 2 minutes of this segment. Who can beat the Nets in the East? Brian, starting with you. Just give me a team, and we're going to go next to Terry. Terry?
I'm going to go Philadelphia.
Emerson?
Philly. They have the size. They have some players, and I want to say they got some players. And that defense that Doc Rivers has instilled in that team, I believe they're going to give Brooklyn a run for their money. And I know people are probably like talking about Brooklyn, and I think Philly's just sitting back saying, okay. Okay.
My
yeah, on the record.
Yeah. I think my the one that I'm gonna go with is Miami.
Oh, Okay.
hard defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if Miami shooters can shoot, I think, and the Nets have a off day, I think it can go to 6 games.
Okay.
So I do I see them beating them? No, but do I see them giving them a tough fight? Yes.
Okay.
Now we go into the NFL draft. Scary.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
We know basically everybody knows that this is no secret. This is not going to be no shocker that Trevor Lawrence is going to go to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The Jets.
Yes.
What do you say about the Jets, Emerson?
I think the Jets, they gotta take the best player available. And I think they're gonna go with a quarterback. And right now, you need to solidify your franchise and put that quarterback in there that's going to be able to be a New York Jet for the next 10 to 15 years.
And which quarterback do you think they're going to be looking at?
Oh my goodness.
Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance? I'm sorry.
I am a Justin Fields fan. Trey Lance is an incredible talent. There are so many ways that the Jets can go depending on what they sit down and decide, as far as all of the different attributes, because I believe all of those quarterbacks have the it factor, if I can say that. They all have that it factor, and they all bring something to the table of leadership, a winning mentality, hard worker, and great athletes. I don't know if we've seen this round of quarterbacks coming out with the athletic ability that they all exhibit this past year. So I think it would be a wild day in that war room making that pick. But you better get it right because we're talking a franchise quarterback here. Get it right.
So you think the Jets are going to take Justin Fields?
If I was the GM, I'm picking Justin Fields.
Okay. Terry?
Yeah. I think they're gonna go after Justin Fields. My opinion.
Okay, and why do you think that?
I just think he like he said, he's they I mean, you've got good quarterbacks in this year's draft. They all have that it factor, but I think he's their guy. I will say if they don't, I could say the Niners might consider taking him, but I think they're going to snatch him up. I know the Niners have been kind of secretive or kind of thoughts that they kind of throwing up smoke screens about who they really want. But I think Justin Fields that's the Jets guy.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, Zach Wilson he's a baller.
Out of BYU,
He's a baller. He's a baller.
Well, we're gonna hit that. We're definitely gonna talk about the Sam Donaldson. I think the Jets are gonna go Zach Wilson. Okay. Kid is 6'3". He threw for 2,000 yards at BYU. I think that is the place he's going to go. I just got.
I like Zach. I like Zach
Yeah.
Wilson. I think he's a hell of a ball player. You know, he's coming from a great program. There at BYU, they used to be called the quarterback university many years ago. The great Steve Young, Robbie Bosco, and those guys, man, they used to just produce quarterbacks. But yeah, this kid has it. He
He put up the numbers.
He's got the numbers. He's got that it factor. That's what I was speaking of earlier. He has that it factor.
So we got three. We have three Fields going to the Jets.
I'm just crazy about Fields. His pro day was just amazing. Not that I didn't think he could do all of those things and show off and, you know, show the world his 40 time. Oh my goodness, this guy.
You have him going. You have him going to the Jets.
I have him going to the Jets.
Brian. T.
Fields to the Jets.
And me, I'm going to be difficult. I'm going with Wilson.
Okay. You like Zach Wilson?
I got Zach going to the Jets.
Okay.
But the Jets sent Donaldson to Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And now it looks like the former starting quarterback is looking for a job now. Was that a good move for Carolina to pick up Donaldson? Terry? What do you think?
Well, I'll say this. Donaldson, he showed some potential with the Jets. I feel like the Jets were their worst enemy. I mean, they just didn't have a team around him to kind of help him out. I mean, what? Mark Sanchez was the last quarterback to make the playoffs with the Jets. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, good pick up for Carolina. I mean, they've got some work to do too. I mean, but they got a nice running game down there. I don't know. I'll say this. I think maybe short term, Carolina probably helped themselves more than the Jets did. Short term.
Well, if I'm correct, Sam is only 22.
Yeah, see.
Now, Em, what do you think of Sam going to Carolina?
Down to Carolina? Unfinished business. I believe he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder because he has the tools of an NFL quarterback. I know a lot of the blame went on him for the debacle there in New York, but like t-mizzle spoke, they didn't surround him with the right pieces. And to be successful in this NFL with all the great defensive minds that are gearing up for you week after week, you have to have the right talent, the right scheme to go along with the quarterback that you have said, here is my franchise, take us to the promised land. So he's getting a raw deal to me in New York, and I can't wait for him to shine. I always like to go with the underdog guy or the guy that people have given up on. He is going to show out and show up in Carolina. Watch what I say. We will go back to this tape, and you guys will say, Mo, you said it. Sam Donaldson, you got a bright future there in Carolina. Go get him, guy.
And Brian, what did you think of Donaldson headed to the Jets? I mean, to Carolina. Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's what I mean. That short term, I mean, it's looking like Carolina are the winners of this trade short term, but we'll see.
I would say Carolina is the winner both ways, because if he shows potential, he will only be 23.
Oh, we know the potential was there.
Yeah.
So if
There's no doubt the potential's there.
If they go 8-8 and they say, you know what, we're going to go in another direction, this kid is still 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's still a high ceiling for him, because somebody's going to still give him another chance.
Absolutely.
And if he's great, or if he's good, the Jets are back home resetting the clock again, hoping that this kid that they draft, that you guys said Fields, is going to produce. Yeah. Because if he comes in there and is a star, great. But if they go 6-10, you reset the clock again, hoping for the next season. And that's got to be very tough for Jet fans. Mm-hmm. But now we take a look at the 49ers. The 49ers move up to the third pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
You're on the clock.
From Houston through Miami Dolphins. So the question is, if you're Garoppolo, do you play the nice guy and just play this season out, or do you say, trade me before the draft? Let's start with Brian.
It's always New England. There's always New England. True.
Well, let's take a look.
They want first round, or they want picks. They want
picks. Yeah.
What do you think about that, Em?
Garoppolo will be traded. He may be on the trade going somewhere right now as we're doing this podcast. They didn't make that move going up to number 3 for Garoppolo to be their starting quarterback. They're picking one of these top elite quarterbacks in this draft, and they're going to play them early. They're going to play them early and often, and that's what they're going to do. Garoppolo will be traded before the draft or on draft night. I do see that happening, and I'm sure New England will be in the mix some kind of way there, because they have a good relationship there, and Belichick, he likes his guys. So, and Garoppolo is one of his guys. So Garoppolo will be traded on draft night or before the draft.
What do you think about that, Terry? By the Bay.
Just sitting on the dock of a bay.
I think he's going to be traded. I mean, they traded up. They're going after a quarterback. Both Shanahan and Lynch were at Mac Jones's pro day. They've already scheduled. I think it's happening next week. They're going to be at Justin Fields' second pro day, both of them, and they're already saying that Trey Lance, he runs some of that Kyle Shanahan type offense. So those are the guys that are on their board. So he's going to be traded.
Now, they said that the 49ers have went back to look at Fields again.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
So now what's been brought up is Garoppolo, that Emerson thinks Garoppolo will be traded before the start of the draft. But what are the teams besides New England that could use Garoppolo? Emerson?
Well, is Chicago totally sold on Andy Dalton? I mean, are they really sold on Andy Dalton? I know they just picked him up this year, but are they really sold on Andy Dalton? We know the Washington football team could be in play for Garoppolo's services. And there's always a sleeper team like nobody saw coming, like, whoa, they made a trade for Garoppolo. What are they doing? That happens every year. It happens every offseason. And then we always say, okay, well, what are they going to do with their current quarterback position? Maybe they're going to cut him or release him. So we don't know yet what's going to happen, but I do see some surprises happening just before the draft or on draft day.
Now, Terry, I know your heart is so sad because it's going to be another losing season for you guys. So where do you see Garoppolo going?
I don't know how, but somehow I think he's going to be back in New England. I don't know how Belichick's going to pull it off.
He's Belichick. He gets what he wants.
And you guys got Garoppolo for a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're asking for a first-round pick.
Right. And I'll say this.
Man, nobody's giving you no first-round pick.
Exactly. I feel like they hurt themselves with.
Nobody's giving you no first-round pick.
They never really played him up, you know. It was always, a question mark where everyone was questioning Jimmy G. And let's be honest, Shanahan never really stepped in and gave him his vote of confidence. I mean, to me, that little press conference, what was it, last week, was kind of done out of necessity. Like they felt like they had to do it.
Oh yeah.
But
oh yeah.
I think I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I think he's back in New England somehow. I have heard rumors that Shanahan and Belichick have a really good relationship. So maybe that's, stuff that's done.
Well, if he's
from the conference table,
if he's coming back to New England, he's going to have to bring his snow shovel with him.
Hey,
yeah,
a lot of snow up here in New England.
Hey,
no,
Patriot way.
Brian, where do you see Garoppolo going?
Yeah. No. Yeah. right? Because the kid Trey Lance, he could slip to the Bears. He could slip down. Yeah, because when we start going to those next tier of players, you got some great offensive linemen. You know, you got Sewell, you have Slater, then you have some of those elite wide receivers, and let's not forget this great tight end, Kyle Superman Pitts.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Right now as a GM, I'm giving up next year's pick and maybe the pick in 2023 to move up to get him. If I'm you see those Cowboys. Yeah, we
yeah. Here's for me, if you throw, I look at Washington, Chicago, and I look at New England. New England is funny when it comes to giving up picks. New England likes to drop down in the draft.
Yes.
But if I'm Washington, and I was talking to Emerson about this during the week, if I'm Washington, I'm going after Garoppolo.
Okay.
Because for the simple fact, I'm taking a look at the pasture, and I don't see Philadelphia being that better. I don't see the Giants being that better. And so I take a look at Washington. I've got a good defense coming back, and all I need is a stable quarterback, and I can win that division. And so let the chips fall where they may when it comes time for the playoffs. But for me, Washington, I'm running after Garoppolo.
But there's one problem. The Cowboys are winning their division.
We heard that last year.
That's it. Yeah, the Cowboys are winning it. The Cowboys are winning.
You gotta stay healthy.
Let's no, the Cowboys are winning the division. The numbers Dak Prescott's going to put up this year is going to.
Yeah. Yes. I would mail it to them as fast as I could, because if I'm getting a quarterback that already went to the Super Bowl, I'm going with them. When I take a look at the quarterbacks now in the NFC East, are you going to say Garoppolo and Dak Prescott are equal? Then you come down to the next tier. Would you say Garoppolo and the quarterback for the Giants are equal? And then you look at the Eagles quarterback. Is he equal to Garoppolo?
Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC East if you add Garoppolo there.
Yeah.
Period. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
and now we're going to add Kyle Pitts to the mix. Jerry Jones, if you're listening to me, you do whatever it takes to go up and get that kid from Florida, Kyle Pitts. We want him in a Cowboy uniform. I'm counting on you, Jerry. I'm counting on you. Go get him. I don't care what you
Cowboys have the 10th pick in the draft.
Yes.
Dallas Cowboys
They're going to have to move up with Atlanta. Atlanta's open to trading their pick. So let's not forget that.
Well, here's the problem to that.
Atlanta's open to trading their pick.
You've got two quarterbacks right now at 7 and 8. You got the Detroit Lions with Goff.
Yep.
To put offense around him. And you've now got Donaldson in Carolina at 8.
Okay. And
you don't think that they might not be looking? And even though you have the number 10th pick in the first round, I think if I'm Atlanta, I think the 7th or 8th looks a lot better. Looks a little bit better.
Jerry Jones is known to do whatever it takes to get the guy he wants.
Well, and here's another.
The Cowboys will have the 4th pick.
And
if he has to give up the number 1 pick for next year and the year after.
Well,
okay.
Here's another.
With all the defensive needs that we have.
And here's another sad song for you.
Yeah.
Imagine you've got Cincinnati that's got a quarterback in Burrows that can throw the football.
Yes.
At number 5.
They're going to take a wide receiver. They're going to get Chase out of LSU.
Guess what?
They
may say with the 5th pick in the draft, hey, Atlanta, can I get your 5th? Can I get your 4th? Let's just swap, and I'll throw in a 2nd and a 3rd round pick next year.
No, Jerry's going to give you 2 number 1s. He know that's what it's going to take to get up there. He's done it before. He'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch what happens.
And the kicker is, if you're Atlanta, how come you're not picking a quarterback?
They may pick a quarterback.
The word that's coming out of Atlanta is they're sticking with Matt Ryan. And
I believe they can stick with him, but they still can take a quarterback.
Where? If you're giving up your 4th pick, if you're telling everybody that you want to move out?
Well, there may be a quarterback in this because there's a few of them that may slide in the draft because of the top other defensive players that are here. The kid out of Penn State, Parsons. He's the next great linebacker coming out. This kid is amazing. I love him. I mean, you got all those stud corners. Teams are going to snatch up. And there's a quarterback that should have gone in that top 5 bracket that may slide down into the 15, 18 range. We see it all the time. Remember, Aaron Rodgers fell to the bottom of the 1st round pick.
Yeah, but when you're looking at Atlanta right now with the 4th pick in the draft, they're telling a 36-year-old quarterback, we believe in you. We believe in you, and we're going to give you $20 odd million.
Yeah.
Where that the owner could have said, I'm going to get rid of you, and I'm going to pick up this $5 million quarterback. And nobody wouldn't have argued. You got to I give Arthur Blank a lot of credit to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to still pay you, and I still believe in you.
I believe that. I mean, that's a no. You make a good point there. Also, you may see some major players who get cut because there's some cap casualties that are coming. Watch very closely. There are going to be some players who's going to get cut from their teams. You're going to be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Yeah. It happens every year. I'm talking starters. So what? Because this draft is filled with talent. So I can't wait till the draft is over. I can't wait till OTAs start. I can't wait till training camp start, and football is gonna be going. And I'm gonna continue to root for my Dodgers. Woo! Don't forget my Dodgers.
The thing before we close out is it's good to see fans back in the stadiums and the arenas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the good things is that the NFL is saying by the fall, they plan to be back at full capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if they see what baseball is doing now,
Well, more shots in the arms means more fans in the stands.
Absolutely. I like that.
So
that's a good one, buddy. Huh? Yeah, goody, huh?
So on that note, Em, you want to send us out?
Hey, thank you for joining us again, everybody. Don't forget to tune in to XO Sports Talk Live. We're going to be coming back at you another time next week. Stay tuned. Boo, booyah. Gotcha. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and please hit the subscribe button.
Yep. See you guys later.
Goodbye.
Yes.